welcome to the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. I'm Jared, and today we're doing an unboxing of the latest expansion released for The Hunger, one of Richard Garfield's latest games that's similar to Clank or something like that, where you've got deck building and you're moving your piece around the board, trying to collect various things and then get back. So if you've not played The Hunger, you are vampires trying to find humans and kill them and eat them, and they go as cards into your deck. And they're worth points, but they also clog up your deck. So there's certain spaces that allow you to digest those humans, just kind of setting them below your board, and then, you know, they get them out of the deck, but they still count for points at the end. But this expansion is going to add a whole lot of new content, and this is called The Hunger High Stakes. I believe it's the first of any expansion to come for the game. It is... let's see, 60 minutes, 2 to 6 players. Of course, you will need the base game. Let's read the back, and then we'll get right into what's inside in this unboxing. It says, vampire hunters and werewolves are longtime threats to vampires. But what is a night run without adrenaline? It's time to raise the stakes to a new level. New threats bring new strategies and excitement to the game. Events create unique hunt nights and spawn threats. New powers help to fight new dangers, including other vampires. So, let's take a look. I'm pretty excited. I really like this game. I think it's really, worth keeping if you like Clank. I know some people say Clank would be better or their favorite. And honestly, I think it's just because Clank gets, it's been around longer and people just have more fondness towards it. But for my preference, I like The Hunger more because it has more player interaction. I do think it's better than, like, say, original Clank, but perhaps maybe not as good as Clank in Space. So here we have the rule book. You know, it's nicely made, nicely readable, a lot of colors, a lot of pictures, nice and thin, easy to throw into your game. We've got just a little advertisement for some of their other games from Renegade Game Studios. Here we've got a punch board. We've got some new treasure chests to mix in. We have some heart tokens and some more of the cemetery graveyard tiles, that sort of thing, with different new scoring abilities. Of course, they're going to have stuff that's going to add to the new content. So, like, each threat you've defeated, each werewolf, each vampire you've defeated, that sort of thing. All right, and then inside we've got some slots here for cards, but otherwise we have 2 sets of cards, and let's take a look. So I'm seeing here we've got a whole new card back, so why don't we start with that and see what is super new in this expansion. All right, card quality feels very good, feels nice, I like it. Nice and slick, new cards. Okay, so we've got this with, like, the 4 sigils here on the back, and looks like they're just a few copies of some of the different sigils to perhaps randomize, which one's in play. Then we've got some of these, which I think are the special abilities. Let's see, you are injured, so maybe you flip this over when you get injured. So that's something new, because of course you can now fight other vampires. So everybody gets their own injury card, and I guess that's just going to flip over if you're hurt. I'm looking forward to that PvP. We have the 15th turn card reminder, which I guess is going to change a little bit with the expansion. It says, don't add new cards to the hunt track. You can't hunt humans or pile with humans unless you have an umbrella. At the end of the game, vampires with one or more threats in front of them are attacked one last time. You can attack vampires or threats in the cemetery, but not in the castle. Okay, so that's a nice new reminder for some of the rules changes. And here we've got, like, sun cards, and these are game events. So perhaps the first half of the game, you might get some of these events, or the second half of the game. Yeah. Let's see. Different game events. Gain +1 action point when you start your turn on the railroad. All right. Put those here. And then the night, which is probably the first half of the game. I think I misspoke. So all vampires in the forest add 2 wounds to their discard and draw 1 card. They find us. We need to run, hide and seek. In turn order, each vampire can spend 2 to move their vampire to the closest crypt and choose 1 mission from it. Choose bonus token face down from the reserve. Okay. Very cool. Now I noticed these are all labeled with the sigil that we saw on those cards for the most part. And I'm not sure how that's going to come into play just yet. But these are just some of the special events that can impact each round. All right, vampire hunters and werewolves. Let's take a look at these. New cards. So Darrow, he says, eat all humans on column 1. Defense, permanent. When you defeat Darrow, gain 1 blood point for each human he has eaten. Linda. Eat all humans on column 1, defense permanent. When you defeat him, gain for each human. Alright, that's what all of these are saying, but of course their point values and things up here are a little bit different, and their health. Interesting. Old Jack. Okay, now we're getting to the vampire hunters. So Flint Bowditch, defense permanent. When you defeat Flint Bowditch, take 2 bonus tokens from the reserve, keep 1 and exile the other. Paradox Hilbert, Enigma Marsh. These all have the same abilities as vampire hunters. Okay, different health, of course. Scar, Lady Hawk. Very cool. Some of these remind me of the character art and character models from Bloodborne, if you've played that video game. Then we have some more cards to enter the standard deck. So we have humans, Hangul, Afra. She's a healer. Not good for you. Gloomstalker, some new kind of good vampire cards. Okay, so I think these are the new ways to threat other players and do damage. You can use bites as action points, that sort of thing. Shadowmancer, draw a card, threats don't attack you when you hunt their row. Night Brute, several of these. The Vampiric Claws, I kind of like that card. A lot of extra move points and a little bit of damage. And then we have some new familiar cards. The Chimp. You can stash 1 card under Chimp if there are none, or add the stashed card under Chimp to your playing area. Tango. Ready permanent. Gain 1 point when you play Tango. 1 action point. Discard Tango to gain 2 attack. Heal. Gain 1 blood point for each threat you heal this turn. And Hobbs, ready permanent, draw 1 card when you play Hobbs. You may discard familiars to gain +1 attack per discarded familiar. We have a new rose probably here to go into the cemetery if you're familiar with the game. And looks like it's got some points on it and some attack that's going to stay out permanently, giving you a move point and attack. Very cool. All right, let's look at the rest of the cards in the other pile here. Carefully open it up and see what kind of other new cards are included. Okay. So first we have on top some vampire cards. The Gloomstalker. Oh, I see what's happening. They've got characters here in the top corner. I'm wondering if these are substituted starting cards for each vampire character, which is probably what they are. Either substituted or added to the starting deck. We'll have to see. So far, it looks like you have the same set here. So like the Gloomstalker, the Vampiric Claws, which is gain 1 threat per human in your playing area. The Vampiric Rage, draw 1 card if you have a threat in your area. The Hunger, gain a blood point for each human you hunt this turn. Vampire Thirst, it's 1 action point or 3 points if you have at least 1 human in your playing area. The Vampire Strength, draw 1 card if you have at least 1 human. Gloom Stalker, so we're back to some of these extra other characters. So I'm guessing these are going to be replacement starter cards. So if you're using the expansion, you'll use those. And then we have all new humans as well. Although this just says wound. So perhaps a wound card is something you add to your discard. Oh, I see what's happening. Interesting. These are all wounds. So I wonder if you have to draw a wound from the wound deck when someone hurts you. And then when you play it, it says draw a card, heal if you hunt, lose 2 at the end of the game if you haven't healed these wounds. So very interesting. There's different colors. You know, I don't know if the colors have too much gameplay difference, but they have the same text description here underneath. All right. My guess is perhaps each player has their own set of wound cards. Perhaps that's the thing. Okay. And then we've got just a couple more here, not heroes, humans. The Mighty Marge. She's a champion. Gain X blood when you hunt Mighty Marge, where X is equal to your threat. Salah. BFF. Hunt another one of these types of humans of your choice on the hunt track. Okay, and then Humberdink. Sneaky. Add 1 threat to your, or wound to your discard when you hunt Humberdink. BFF Osana. Hunt another one of these, just like the other dude. Champion. Same as the other. Healer. Gain +1 blood for each wound you heal when you hunt Valerie. Very cool. So that is all, or that is all, that's all the cards and everything included in the Hunger expansion High Stakes, which is of course really interesting because it's going to add more threats, more, you know, ways to combat each other. And I think that's what the game really needs, is more, you know, more interaction, because this is the kind of game that it is. And I think that's great to embrace, you know, what that is and what makes this game unique from some of the other deck building, moving around the board, collecting things games, however you want to term that. But that is everything. So thank you guys so much for watching this unboxing of the Hunger High Stakes. I've been Jared. And hey, if you like this content, want to see more unboxings, tutorials, unboxings, news, I said unboxings twice, and other content, stick around on the channel. Certainly give us a subscribe. You won't regret it. And leave me a like and comment and all the good fun YouTube stuff. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.